Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review we've got some real bangers here of a sort. And to begin off, we are covering Sissy Boy and Shazam, and we've got City Boy written by Greg Pak, who has also done the series Mech Cadets, and you can check out Mech Cadets on Netflix. Who knows, you might be able to find other ways to watch it too, and get back to the creator of the series of what you actually think about it. And I'd highly recommend that you check it out if you want to read something else by Greg Pak. And I must admit, I have enjoyed City Boy, and I have also enjoyed Shazam. So I'll now get things organized for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, as we move into City Boy, does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move to have a look at the story around the beginning, middle, and end with the internal art, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So, as the story begins, we have Cameron Kim sort of like looking to where his mother sort of went to in sort of like following her image of how the city's sort of like sharing, I guess, apparitions of what happened to his family, and also how it's starting to affect him. Of course, he does get a bit of a visit from Nightwing. And as we jump to where he does catch up with Nightwing, he also helps him in the story to, I guess, learn to be a better hero, but also help him deal with help him find other ways to sort of like deal with some of his issues. And last but not least, we move towards the end of the story, to which Cameron Kim starts to move towards a bit of a forest and a swamp, and he also gets to see how good of a character that Nightwing is. And I must admit, even though this is where Cameron Kim, City Boy, does end up meeting up with the character of Nightwing, I feel that Nightwing's portrayal here was actually written better here than it is in the main run by Tom Taylor. And to which I give the internal art for this a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to look forward towards the story raising, which will be covered in the next little area. So as we move into the area of the story, I know that this series really doesn't need it, but it included it anyway, and we did get some comic references. So we got a comic reference to the Final Crisis Omnibus, which was really interesting. I didn't quite expect that, but it also has like a connection to part of this story that is happening here, and also the Lazarus Planet, or one of the Lazarus Planet event books. Moving into the area of time, we had now been used, so to address that the story is happening in the present for this character, and we also got to see what he was seeing and experiencing. The location, of course, this was taking place in was in Bloodhaven, and with this we got to see Cameron Kim basically have sort of like a bat-like avatar for the area, and I wonder if that might be a bit of a homage to when Dick Grayson was also Batman in the comic series, to when Batman disappeared in Batman, I think it's R.I.P. The cast of characters consisting of Cameron Kim, City Boy, Nightwing, Jeannie Nugent, we had Darkseid, we had the Intergang, we had McCarrison, and last but not least, we had the character of Swamp Thing. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 7.5 out of 10, as I really quite enjoyed what happened here. Now it's time to move into Shazam. So, finally, after the Night Terrors event, we move back into some great storytelling, once again, by Mark Waid. And first things first, does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I give the cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to have a look at the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. And also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we move into the beginning of the story, we have Freddie Freeman, who has finally met up with the people who give Billy Batson the powers of Shazam. And as we start to jump towards the middle of the story, there's, of course, an instance to which Billy Batson has had to turn into Shazam and had to help some monkeys or gorillas and apes out. And last but not least, we move towards the end of the story, to which we end up meeting a new villain, to which he's named called Emperor Garguax. Or whether he's a new villain or not, I'm not too sure. Please let me know in the comments if you happen to know a little bit more about him. If he is a new character, well, he is a new character. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal area of the story rating. So first things first, what did we actually get in this story? Well, first of all, we did get a comic reference, considering we did have that bit of a break and time to which we had the Night Terrors interfere with it, and Mark Waid did his best to sort of like help do the Shazam one as close as possible, and we got a reference to issue 1 of the main Shazam run. Moving into the next area, and that is the area of time, to which we had Meanwhile used and also 2 weeks ago used at the beginning of the story. Next is the area of location, to which we had the Fawcett High School and the Simeon Islands connected to Gorilla City. Next is the cast of characters, to which we had Freddie Freeman, we had Mercury, Atlas, Achilles, so basically all of the gods that make up the name of Shazam, Billy Batson, Eugene, Solomon Grundy, which also appeared in a dream to which Billy Batson had, Mary Marvel, we had Plastic Man, plus a couple of others. We had Tawny Tiger, Darla, and of course Emperor Garguax. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.